Hi guys and welcome to Horologique. San Martin are at it again, releasing a new original model. You know San Martin, they release so many models, but this is one of the originals and that they don't do too much. So let's talk about this little watch. It is a very funky, nicely colored thing, and I just got it like 2 days ago. That's why I didn't feature it in my selection for the AliExpress sale. However, the AliExpress sale is still ongoing until the 7th, and you can pick up this watch for $181 or thereabouts on the rubber strap, which I have as well, and you can pick it up for $216 on these pretty nice and very functional Milanese strap. First, let's talk about the watch and let's talk about the main specifications, and we'll start by the dimensions. So we've got a dimension of a little bit over 41. Yeah, 41.1 is what I get with my calipers. Thickness is 12.6, so it's pretty thin for a watch powered by an NH35. The log-to-log is pretty restrained as well at 46.8, and this is because these logs angle downwards, as you can see, and you've got a log width of 20. What else did you expect? You've got 20 and going down to 18. So there's a small taper of these Milanese strap, and then you've got, of course, solid elements on this very tiny clasp, signed San Martin, double security, of course. The surprise here, and this is one of the best points of this watch, is that you do have micro adjustment. And it might be misleading because it is very small. Compare it with the other clasp with the same functionality of on-the-fly adjustment. It is much smaller, and it provides, I believe, about as much quantity of on-the-fly adjustment. So it is pretty remarkable for that. Let's talk about the options you've got here. You've got these kind of quirky orange dial option that they have called light orange. And there's, of course, as I told you, the version with the bracelet and the version with the FKM rubber strap. There's a light blue option, and that refers to the dial, the bezel insert being orange, however, and even the loom is orange as well. And there's a mint green version with the dial being mint green, the loom being orange as well, and the bezel insert being a very dark chocolate brown. But let's get back to this one. As you can see, it is at the same time funky and serious. Serious because if you look at the indices, you can see that they have used the same indices, or pretty much the same indices that they have used on their luxury level Grand Seiko homage, the SN0129. I say Grand Seiko homage, it is not really a direct copy-paste homage of a Grand Seiko, but it does carry some resemblance with one of the Grand Seiko sports watches. But it is pretty much, as you can see, but for the 12 index, which is doubled here. The other ones are pretty much carried over, and these indices are very high quality. It is very nice to see. The case, however, is much more simple than on the SN0129, and even more simple than on my darling SN0116. There's no bevel here, there's no polishing, everything is brushed. It is brushed to a nice level, but it is something that San Martin has not gotten us used to, even though they're pretty much entry-level models. The cases have been much more engaged. Not here. The workmanship is very good, don't get me wrong, and everything is crisp, especially on those transition from the top to the sides of the case. I spoke about the indices, but not the dial. Inside the dial, you've got this grainy texture, which is orange here. It is a little bit lighter inside and a little bit darker as you go to the peripheries. The rehaut is light blue or sky blue, and you've got every 5 seconds or minutes that is printed in there very nicely. On top of the dial, you've got the hexagon logo. Underneath, automatic, 200 meters, 660 feet, printed in black. You've got also those alpha hands and that kind of double lance second hand. That is quite interesting. I like this one. I like this hand. Some people don't, but I do. You've got a date window at 3, which is color matched. And you know what? This might be the first time that I would prefer it not to be color matched, just so it has some symmetry with the 9 o'clock index, but more on that later. The bezel insert is ceramic, matte ceramic, and all the seconds are marked like a Sea Dweller, like an SKX, and unlike the classic Submariner. How's the bezel rotation? 120 click, unidirectional. It is pretty nice. It is very clicky though. Yeah, but it's good. I wouldn't call it really refined, but it's good enough. San Martin has accustomed us to a little bit better, but at least it lines up and it's okay. I would not call this bad by any stretch. Here in this bezel insert, only the lume pip is loomed though. Let's talk about the lume. It is very good in here. Not as much, of course, as on your classic diver, because there's not enough surface, but quite enough on the hands, on the indices, and of course on that lume pip to make it legible all through the night. The case we have talked about, just as usual with the case back, is completely sterile. That's okay. The crown is signed though with the logo. Let's talk about these mesh. The links are pretty thick, and it's not the kind of mesh that you just size with a passover. They have added like these little sections that are really links and that are held together by screws, which is very, very good. A very cool, playful watch as a whole, but as usual, it does have negatives and of course positives. Positives, yeah, it is quite nice, quite playful with those colors. It is very well made, as pretty much every San Martin. Look at those hands and those indices, they are really luxury level. You've got 200 meters of water resistance, you've got great lume, you've got a double domed sapphire crystal. Let's talk about one of the main positive points of this watch, and that is the easy to remove spring bars. As you can see, you've got 2 parts where you can grab it and then you just release it really easily, and that makes it really easy to release to change straps, which is wonderful in this watch. I really hope that more and more manufacturers incorporate these advancements. It is really an advancement. It will make life much easier for us watch lovers, especially in these kind of watches where you might want to change straps quite often. As for the negatives though, you've got a watch that is, yeah, colorful, playful, but yeah, maybe a little bit too much. It might be a little bit too playful and colorful for some people, and I do understand those people. I am sure that as for all their original models, they will not hesitate, if this one works out, to give some other color options fairly soon. Other negatives, San Martin had used us to smaller cases, 39s, 40s at most. This is a 41 and some more, and it does feel like it. You do feel like it's a big watch, even bigger than a 41 would suggest. We're not used to it anymore, I think, but I believe that for the bigger wristed, that's no problem. Even for people with medium wrists like mine, it is no problem. But it is just to be noted that it wears much bigger than the best sellers than San Martin has provided us with later. That is something that you do have to know before committing to this watch. Price is good, especially on the rubber strap. The other negative that I have with this pretty good rubber strap is 2024. You really should give us easy removable straps, especially because of all the functionality that this mesh provides. So yeah, that's a bit of an oversight, I think. Do I recommend it? Yeah, if you like it, go for it. Quality's there. The price is pretty nice as well. 216. Grab one of those codes if they still go. I will leave the code here because I don't know it by heart, but I will leave it here for your different markets. I will leave it underneath in the description. If this review was useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more watches like these, excellent value watches like this San Martin. Don't forget to go ahead and review the top 5 watches that I did before the sale is over on the 7th of June. Don't worry, there's going to be another sale very soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you very soon on this video or on this other one where I talk about watches that you should not buy.